Hi guys, it's Debbie, and yes, my background is different from my latest videos because I am back in my old house in Italy. But that is a story for another time because today I would like to speak about Deadpool 2. I've spoken on many different occasions about the first Deadpool film here on my channel, and I believe I've raised quite a discussion and even some angry reactions because I didn't like it. I found it a very hard attempt at creating something edgy, but which ended up being rather simplistic, not funny, and in general quite overrated. I will leave a link to a video in which I speak more extensively about this topic in the description box down below. Fast forward months after watching the first Deadpool film, the trailer for Deadpool 2 came out, and I found myself positively surprised. It looked different and I was actually looking forward to watch the film. Last night I finally saw it and I enjoyed it. It still isn't my thing, but that is just my personal taste. But I found it funny, I think it managed to achieve that edginess, and overall it was entertaining. I would never have expected to hear myself saying this. I don't want to spoil anything about the plot, so let me just say that in Deadpool 2, we once again meet our title anti-hero Wade Wilson, now on a mission to defeat his enemy Cable. To do so, he forms a team of heroes, but not before meeting some old acquaintances from the first film, and of course bringing along a ton of irony. So the second film sounds just like the first one, right? A lot of action, sarcastic jokes, and various anti-heroes. Well, it turns out it moved way beyond that, and that is probably why I enjoyed it so much compared to the first chapter. The original Deadpool film had the objective of introducing this new character. Everybody who hadn't known Deadpool from the original comics was about to be amazed. And Deadpool is very controversial, very sarcastic. He will often break the fourth wall, speak to the audience. He will make jokes in inappropriate situations, and everything he goes through is very graphic, very violent. And I think that the actual plot of the film was sacrificed in order to promote all of this strong characterization. If you think about it, all of the first Deadpool film was focused on Deadpool himself, regardless of everything going on around him. The plot was barely structured. In some points, it was nearly there so that a certain character could say a certain pun. Imagine if the first Iron Man film, Thor film, Captain America film, Wonder Woman, Hulk, you name it, had just been an exaggerated depiction of the main character with no care for the actual plot. And also, the characterization in the first Deadpool was so strong that it shifted from all the original features the protagonist displays to middle school jokes. And there's nothing wrong with a film aiming at a specific audience with a specific type of script, but this film was supposed to be sold to adults. It was totally promoted as this edgy, dark, controversial, satirical, comedic film. Instead, I think that all these elements emerged very well in Deadpool 2. We have a plot which actually works. It is a plot in itself and not just an aid to the characterization of the protagonist. Ryan Reynolds' lines are very funny without falling into simplistic jokes. Again, he is breaking the fourth wall. There are meta jokes. He is referencing other films, the DC universe a couple of times. He is incredibly funny, but we also got to see his more nihilistic aspect, his darker mindset for reasons which are revealed in the plot. And now, for example, another difference which comes to mind is that with the first film, we were supposed to constantly laugh at jokes such as Deadpool wearing Crocs in the house, him having sex in different positions with his girlfriend on different occasions, or a character texting during a battle. And these would have been totally acceptable and fun if the film hadn't been based on gag after gag after gag like this, with nothing else of substantial going on. If the first film had been clearly labelled as an American Pie pun-ridden film, it would have been fine. Instead, it was promoted as the edgiest thing ever seen on screen. Whereas in the second film, we have clever humour, references to modern topics, and subjects which moved beyond the stereotyped pun. Also, the abundance of empty jokes made the plot of the first film very predictable, whereas the second chapter catches us completely unprepared in many different situations, making the story more engaging. As I was saying at the beginning of the film, it's still not my thing. I love superhero, anti-hero films, but for my personal taste, this is something I would not pick for a new poster or to watch again with my friends. But it was enjoyable, and I'm so pleased that the franchise managed to bring back my interest for the story. The action scenes were fantastic, and we can recognize the hand of the new director David Leitch, as he is one of the men behind films such as John Wick, Atomic Blonde, Captain America Civil War, and he has also been a stuntman for something like 60 films. So he definitely has the eye for action sequences, which were very detailed and well coordinated in Deadpool 2, with the classic extreme graphic element which is typical of Deadpool's character. If you haven't seen Deadpool 2, or if like me you had been a bit put off by the first film, I would recommend giving this film a chance. It is worth it. If you have already seen it, let me know what you thought about it with a comment down below, and if you would like to see more content, feel free to subscribe. See you soon. Bye.